So I don't normally do this, but we had a day in my private mastermind that people absolutely loved. There was so many wake-up calls and aha moments and realizations about their business that I just had to share it. We even had someone close a deal that same day after learning what they learned in this session about sales conversations. So the lesson is about the need to be liked and how it affects your sales calls and affects your whole entire business in general. So here it is for my private mastermind. If you want to learn more about this, I'll drop the link below to book a call with me, but enjoy. It's going to change the way that you run your business.
So, the need to be really liked is really rooted in codependency. Okay. So, codependency is basically about giving away you being safe and your worth to other people's reactions. Right? So, oh, that person, I didn't, their expression on their face, they look angry or sad. So maybe they don't like me. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Right? Or this person really got off the phone with me abruptly. So how come they don't like me? So, like everything else, this starts when you're a kid, usually before 7 years old, right? It starts with you having to do things to get your parents to like you and your parents' approval and acceptance and all that kind of stuff. And the reason that you need your parents to like you is because your parents are your lifeline, right? If your parents don't like you, they're not going to feed you and give you shelter, right? And so it becomes like a survival thing, right? So so why is this a huge problem in business? Because it's a huge problem in sales. The need to be liked is a huge problem in sales. The minute that you actually need someone to like you, you're not a leader anymore. Our job is to lead people to their best outcome. You're not in business to be liked. You're in business to provide a service. So I see a lot of people doing this, like when they first start sales calls, especially in corporate. Hey, so how's the weather over there? How was the summer? How's your wife? How's your dog? That's not what we're doing here. We're not becoming friends. We're providing a service. And to be honest with you, it's kind of hard to get especially coaching services from your friends, right? That's not you don't want to tell your deepest, darkest like insecurities to your friends. You want to tell that to a professional who can make you feel better, right? So you also, as part of everyone's job here, whether you're a coach or a consultant or anything else, your job is to lead someone to their best outcome. So sometimes you have to tell them the truth that they don't want to hear. And friends are usually nice to each other, and they don't do that, right? So when you need to be liked, it feels really dangerous to tell someone that, it's really not your corporate environment that's making your life miserable. It's the way that you're behaving. It's not really the market that's making you broke. It's the way that you're treating money, right? That's what people pay for, to give you the truth so that they can fix it, not to be nice and to be liked. So the need to be liked comes from worrying that people are going to be pissed at you. So when you're just worried that people are going to be pissed at you or not like you, you can't fully express yourself. And so you filter everything and you say things in a nice, gentle, soft way, and you're not fully expressive of the truth. So anytime that you feel some kind of disapproval, maybe it's the expression on their face or, oh, that call just didn't feel good or something like that, you internalize it as, oh God, they don't like me. Kind of when you were like 7 years old and you did something that, you yelled at your parents and they're like, don't talk to me that way. Oh God, they don't like me, right? It doesn't feel good because we all as human beings want to be accepted. But as we know, everything is personal responsibility. We can't outsource this, right? So if you have not accepted yourself, you're going to look for acceptance from other people. Okay. So if you're a coach and you're not 100% sure that you change lives, then you're going to look for other people to tell you that and other people to give you the smiles and the nods because you don't have it for yourself. All right. So what are the traits of someone who needs to be liked? A person who needs to be liked is not very good at making decisions because if they make the wrong decision, someone might not like it. And we all know as business owners, we need to make decisions quickly and move. The faster you make decisions, make some mistakes, and move forward, the faster your business is going to grow. But if you need to be liked, oh God, what if I make the wrong decision and someone judges me? They might not like me. All right, a person who needs to be liked doesn't really like praise because it just puts a bunch of pressure on them to live up to that praise. Right? So like, oh, you're really good at um, this consulting engagement that you're doing. They're like, oh God, what if I'm not that good? Now it's a lot of pressure. Someone who needs to be liked doesn't ask for what they need, specifically the amount of money that they want to charge, because they're like, oh, they're not going to like me if I make them give their money away. And they basically just like think they're unworthy. They're not worthy of being in the conversation, being the coach, being the consultant that they are, charging their high fee, right? These people often were really reprimanded as children, right? So people with really, really strict parents that reprimanded them a lot, and the kid was always fighting to like get in the good graces of their parents. They have a strong need to be liked because, well, they couldn't really express their feelings because their parents would get mad at them when they cry, right? So a need to be liked developed out of that. Okay, so sales conversations. This all gets back to sales conversations. I mean, it shows up everywhere in business, like lead generation. You're not comfortable, sending emails to people because like, oh God, what if they tell me not to bother them or something like that? But sales conversations, that is the fastest place to trigger the need to be liked, right? So what do you do in sales conversations when you need to be liked? You agree where you shouldn't really agree. You go too soft when they need to be told something. You don't tell them what they really need to hear in the way that they need to hear it for their best outcome. And you basically just give control of the conversation away. Right? So people that need to be liked, they have a really hard time staying in control of sales conversations. Especially if whatever they're offering gets rejected. The rejection is absolutely devastating because the whole self-worth thing comes up. All right. So people that need to be liked, they stay in bad situations for way too long. In business, specifically bad clients, because they're always trying to get that client's approval, even though it's not them, it's the client's faults. Right? That's codependency coming in. And because you attract what you are, the being thing, where am I? When you attract who you are, when you're a person that needs to be liked, you often attract manipulative people who will take advantage of you into your life because it's like the two are serving their own dysfunction, right? So what do you do if you're one of these people that need to be liked? The number one thing you start with is boundaries. Right? We talked about this in the sales training. I believe it's impression of increase. Boundaries is part of the impression of increase. When this first happens and people aren't used to it, they're not going to like it, but people treat you, people treat you the way that you need to be, that you let them treat you. So they'll get used to it, right? So for instance, like you're on sales calls and the call was scheduled for half hour, but you end up staying for like an hour and a half and coaching them. You're like, from now on, I'm going to stick to my deadlines. I have a very tight schedule. And they're not going to like it. They're like, why'd this guy become a dick all of a sudden? But over time, they're going to respect your boundary, right? It's going to be uncomfortable for a while if you start to have boundaries, but it's something that's needed to give off the impression of increase. Because remember all the stuff that we learned in the frame, people lean in when you have a very tight identity and a very tight boundary, right? So if it hurts at first, it's just transition. So the way to do this, so David Nagel actually gave a prescription for this. He basically said, just write everything down that you're willing to accept or not accept in your business and just your life in general. So, I will not accept people that ask for discounts. I will not accept people that expect extra time from me. I will not accept people that, don't treat me the way that I want to be treated. Like clients that yell at me or something like that. Write all those things down and stick to them. Right? So it sounds like you're almost becoming a dick when you do this, but it's not true because there's a very fine line between influencing someone and manipulating them, right? When you're this person that's really grounded in their worth and you have like tight boundaries and you stick to those boundaries, you influence people by helping them get closer to the best version of themselves, right? Remember, that's all our goal as service providers, getting people to the best version of themselves, to their best outcome. Manipulation, however, serves the manipulator, right? So you can be like David Nagel was probably the meanest. My daughter would come up behind me. She's like, "You're listening to that mean guy again, right?" You can be as mean as you want. I think like Brian's giving this a shot, right? And it's working. It doesn't matter. As long as you're not being mean just for the sake of being mean, you're like, this is what I think will work to get my person to do what they need to do. It's kind of like when your parents, I do this with my kid all the time. Like they lovingly come up to you and they're like, "Hey, can you put away that dish?" And the kid just stares at their phone. And you're like, "Put away the dish." And they get up and put away the fucking dish. Right? So if you're a coach and you're on the phone with a client and you're like, they're just not, if they would just spend an hour every single day generating leads and they're just not doing it, get your fucking calendar out and do leads for an hour. Right? And you're not doing that to be a dick. You're doing that because you got it like, this is what they need and they're just not responding. If you don't put these fucking leads on your calendar and do them for an hour, your business is not going to grow. That's what that person needs. That's what they're paying you for. But if you need to be liked, you're not going to do that because you're like, that's mean. It's not mean. People need like just like kids, adults need tough love sometimes. We're all just big kids, right? So what happens when the need to be liked is gone? You clearly do and state what is best for the client. It's like, okay, we've had a conversation and I can really help you grow this business. This is my fee. When would you like to start? Right? You're not managing emotions anymore. You're leading. You're telling them what they need to do, and they can either follow or not follow. That's their choice. Right? So like we talked about, when you need to be liked, you lose control of the sales conversation. You completely let the client derail it, and when an objection comes up, like, oh, money or whatever, it's like, oh, how much can you afford? No, we're not doing that anymore. I can help you with your problem. This is my fee. When would you like to start? Oh, that's too much. Okay. Well, Let's talk about that. What's your desire and how much does not getting it cost you? Oh, well, I just don't think I'm ready. Okay, what's gonna make, like, just a line of questioning without, all this, like, what's the word? All these emotions behind it, right? Um, all right, we're getting close. So I'm just gonna actually, we're almost done. So the doctor analogy, right? It's the same for anyone. I don't really trust doctors, but for anyone that trusts doctors, you go to the doctor and you're like, you don't want to go to the doctor. Going to the doctor sucks. It's not the fun part of your day, but you're like, I have a problem and I need to go to the doctor. So you go to the doctor and you tell them your problem, and the doctor's like, here's your prescription. This is what you need to do. Like, you need to be the doctor, right? People might not want to spend time getting coaching or consulting from you. Maybe it's not fun turning all their shit upside down, but this is what they need for their best outcome, right? So when you lose the need to be liked, this is basically who you become.
Okay, so now that you've heard the problem with the need to be liked in your business, the next thing that you should do is integrate it. It's really hard to just listen to this information without thinking about context in your own business. So I'm going to give you a little subset of the exercise that I gave my people. So I want you to think about a couple of things and think about whether you're doing them because you want to be liked or because it's what you actually want to do. Number one, sales conversations. Are you saying the things that you think will make you liked in sales conversations or the things you want to say? Number two, price. Are you charging the price that you want to charge or the price that's going to make you liked? Number three, client delivery, especially if you're a coach or a consultant or any kind of service business. Are you telling your clients the things that you want to tell them? Or are you telling them things that will make you liked? All right, the final question, and this is the big one. If you didn't care about being liked, what would you do next in your business? Leave a comment down below and let me know.